German politician Sahra was, according to Russian documents that were cited in the latest Pentagon leak, seen as one of the best ways for the Kremlin to interfere in Germany's internal affairs. I'm Dr. K, a political scientist who looks at how information is shared, and in this case, we have to look at how information is actually accepted. Ideas are important to people. They shape their habits and their identity, and in Germany, peace is being used to create division and distrust. And that's what hybrid warfare does. According to the leaked Pentagon documents from July to November, Moscow was encouraging the creation of an anti-war coalition between Wagenknecht and Germany's far right, the AfD, to stop support from Germany going to Ukraine. Germany is one of the top 3 supporters of Ukraine in terms of aid and material. The Washington Post reports that as early as July 2022, Germany became the focus of Moscow's efforts to undermine support for Ukraine in Europe. By February 2023, people from both the far left and far right in Germany, about 13,000 of them, gathered in Berlin and called to end weapons supplies to Ukraine. The protest was led by Wagenknecht, who said, "We don't want Germany to be drawn deeper into this war," condemning the bloodshed, but not even mentioning the Russian invasion. A look at the developments in Germany and the timeline of the Russian documents show that Moscow was pretty successful with its efforts. But they have had practice. Using peace protests to create division was used in Soviet times. And it was used in Germany. Think about the demonstrations in the 1980s about the deployment of U.S. Pershing II missiles. And it's not just peace. It's also environmental activism that can be manipulated. In Frankfurt in 1984, the airport runway expansion was met with considerable opposition, and Start-Bahn-West demonstrations became an important symbol of the German environmental movement in the 1970s and 80s. But the expansion of the runway also had international security implications during the Cold War. By taking the idea of peace, which is considered inherently good, the Kremlin is using it to weaken support for Ukraine with hopes that their own war of aggression can be continued with ease. The Kremlin knows how to identify ideas that people have strong attachment to: peace, environmentalism, nationalism, patriotism, religion, chauvinism, LGBTQ rights. They're just a few examples. These points of identifications, ideas that are important to people, that shape their habits and their identity, are used in hybrid warfare to create division and distrust. And that's what hybrid warfare does. And while it might be getting easier and easier to spread misinformation and make it look legitimate, you know it's getting harder and harder? Convincing people that they can be manipulated through these points of identification, especially if hybrid war isn't taken seriously, or if groups have spent years, if not decades, rejecting legitimate sources of facts. Do you feel better informed? Then make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel here. There's a Washington Post article from April 21st that summarized what's going on in Germany.